everybody. Welcome to another episode of Crystals and Coffee. I'm super excited about my guest that I have on today. So, in about 2 BC, and that is before Corona, I had the pleasure of meeting the founder of Poopery, 𝗖𝗙𝗙𝗘𝗘 and her team in LA, and I have to tell you, it was one of the most enjoyable lunches I have ever had. We went on a deep dive into poop talk and colonics at a meeting, and we're laughing our asses off. And so I immediately felt a connection with them, and I'm really excited that today we get to have on Nicole Dent, who is the Senior VP of Creative at Poopery. So I'm going to bring her in, and I'm really excited to have on. We're going to talk about their products, and I think they do such a great job of not only making... Hi!
Hello.
Hello. I was just talking about you.
I've got my mug that you sent me. Can you hear me okay?
You're a mem. I can. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, there we go.
Good?
I turned my Wi-Fi off. I kind of live like out in the country, so I turned my Wi-Fi off, so I should be good. Hopefully it's not me.
So it's working better?
Yes.
Cool. Well, welcome to the Woo Crew. I love that you have your mug.
It's so funny because we call ourselves the Poo Crew at Poopery, so it's very appropriate.
That makes total sense. I knew, I was just telling everybody before you joined us, when I got to meet Susie and your team in LA, I had the most amazing lunch and was just laughing my ass off the entire time. And I was like, well, those are the coolest women on earth. And the way that you all just are able to make poop talk fun and informative. And also, I mean, you're helping the masses keep their shit sexy in the bathroom. So lady, my hat's off to you.
Oh, all credit goes to Susie. I know she has been very, very masterful in how she's chosen to approach such a subject, because you have to do it in a very tactful way that, and humor, that's what I love about comedy personally, is comedy is able to take the sting out of uncomfortable topics. And she chose to go that path with Poopery, and it's clearly paid off for her.
So where are you? You said you're in the country.
Yeah, I'm just north of Dallas. I live on 3 acres just north of Dallas. I'm in my home office, as most of us are, in my house. We've just recently started, some of us, practicing social distancing, going back to the office for kind of our big brainstorms meetings as a part of the creative and marketing department. There is this sort of magic that you get from being in person and having brainstorms. Zoom's been amazing, and doing virtual meetings has been surprisingly effective, but there is that magic that you get from being in person. So we've been kind of testing the waters of coming back together while distanced to have certain meetings.
And where is your office? And I mean, what the hell is going on in there?
It's funny. So we've been at the same office. It's in a town called Addison that's just north of Dallas. But from the outside, it's a strip mall. I mean, you would never know, like, we're next to some people that make candles and a Pilates studio. And for a while there was a hookah bar, and it says Poopery on the outside. So it looks it doesn't look very creative from the outside, but the minute you walk in, it's just explosions of color and art, and just so much life. I think we've done about as much as you could do with a strip mall office.
Is there a formal poo testing facility within your HQ?
I mean, yeah, the bathrooms. We will randomly get Slack messages of, hey, well, whenever we were in the office, that there's, and it's, an unlabeled, or it's marked with a certain number, and it's, hey, if you've got to go, test the product, email so-and-so if you've used it, and fill out this form of how you like it. So we absolutely all get it on the testing and smelling of the testing if you're the person who comes in after.
Oh my God. I love that. I love that. I really love what you guys are doing with your Let That Shit Go campaign. And again, in BC before Corona, I remember you had that amazing campaign going around the country, and there was a giant inflatable pool that you could come into. I know it came to LA. I was very excited. Where are you guys going with your Let That Shit Go campaign now that you can't kind of bring everybody into the masses, into the giant poo?
I know it's been such a bummer, and this time has come with its positives and its negatives. I feel like we're all learning so much about ourselves and during this time, but we were just gearing up. The giant poo, and what she's referring to is we have I believe it's almost 40 feet tall. It's just what it sounds like. It's a giant inflatable poop that you can walk inside of. And what would happen is you would go inside, and there were these toilet stalls, and you would sit on your toilet and you have an iPad in front of you. Bethany would come on this 360-degree projection on the walls, and she would guide you through this process of you. And I think what's interesting is people expect to go inside and have a strictly comical experience. They think it's going to be silly or a joke, but she actually guides you through, much like Poopery, we're filled with these toxic thoughts, just like, we get rid of poop because it's toxic to our body. And what about all the other things that we hold on to? Just like some people hold in their poop because they feel shame. What are these other things that we're holding on to that we could really let go of? And just like after you poo, you feel lighter. Your body feels better. Your body responds to it. So Bethany, our Poopery spokeswoman, guides you through this process of identifying those thoughts, writing them down, and the group collectively in the room, and it's all private. Nobody can see what each other's writing. And then they pull a flusher next to them, and their thought gets crumpled up and tossed onto the wall. And there's this flushing process of everybody letting those toxic thoughts go. And then there's afterward just this beautiful explosion of color and flower and light. And that represents the scent that happens when you use Poopery, but also the celebratory nature of just the positive that comes out of letting your crap go. So that's the physical experience. And as you mentioned, we were in LA. We were kind of on this tour. We were going to kick off a back to college tour that we've clearly had to postpone, but we've definitely kept the conversation going, especially now as, a lot of it has to do with our number one entries, because it was completely anonymous, but we recorded everything that everybody wrote down. And the top across the board, just anxiety and stress, and this was in a pre-COVID world. So imagine how much anxiety and stress is just something that so many of us have in a different way. Like COVID's affected everybody, just in a different way. So we're keeping that conversation going on social as much as we can. And we also have a website. You can go to Poopery.com, and you can also there's a virtual experience of the giant poo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Somebody on my team, because I know I've got some poo crew watching, somebody type in what the website, it's Monday, so my brain's having a fart, but they can post the website in the comments. I think it's giantpoo.com. I think it's pretty straightforward. I hope I'm right.
You guys are just keeping it simple. I love that, sharing that with me, and obviously with anyone that came in contact with the giant inflatable poo. Oh, there we go. Sophia says giantpoo.com.
Perfect. Okay, good. I got it right.
Thank you.
That would have been weird if I just shouted out, who knows, because giantpoo.com could also be something very not what we're talking about. So I'm glad I was right.
It could have been another kind of surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, because what you were just describing to me is the exercise or awakening that you were taking your clients on, that kind of swings over into my realm, and the way of really getting people to connect that their physical and their energetic bodies are so, and their mental and emotional, or it's just all so connected. So the fact that if you're stopped up or stuck or something like that, it's probably actually happening to you somewhere else in your life. Like if your body's stuffed up, then your brain could be stuffed up, or you're stuck at work, or whatever it might be, that's all just reflections of each other.
Yeah, it's its own form of, it's mental constipation. I mean, it gets backed up, and we've done just a ton of research around also just the mind gut connection. Like they call your gut the second brain for a reason. I know, something Susie does often, especially in creative exercises, is where are you feeling that in your body? And I know when I feel something in my gut, what that means for me. And, that we call things gut decisions. Like the gut really is, there are so many receptors in your gut, and the way that you poop can be a direct reflection of other things that you're going through, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we should also talk. I actually remember sitting at the table with Susie having this conversation, and your team. We all started talking about colonics, and what an interesting experience that was. And I was sharing actually about, there is this, with complete love and respect and gratitude, because I've been her client, this lady named Risha Musnicki, who I call the Poop Priestess, with, full respect. And the things, like, I went in there to have this session with this woman, and all of a sudden, I have a tube up my butt, and this woman's like, like, okay. You're just never ready for that. Even like from the world I come from, and as many intuitive people I was around, like I did not see that coming at all. And the things that she was relating. And the crazy part was, like, when you do, Nicole, have you done a colonic before?
I have not, no.
Oh, okay. Well, so here's the deal. The poop comes out of the tube and into this little machine, and there's like glass, and you can see the poop go through the machine. She was doing a reading on the poop.
Oh. And how, I wonder how, is that like through texture? This is going to get graphic, but like through texture or color, or what was kind of, or odor? Like what was the basis of the reading? Do you know?
It was everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally everything. Like she was doing, divination like you would with tarot cards or crystals, only her medium was feces. And it was an unbelievable experience. And I've sent hundreds of people to her to go and have this experience with this wise and healing woman.
Wow. Is there a term for that? Is there a term for that type of colonoscopy? Yeah, I'm curious. I want to Google it. She's a colon therapist, but she just also happened to be a medical intuitive. And that's just, how she was doing her healings. She's amazing. That's fascinating. I've never, I think I've heard of everything, but I hadn't heard of that before.
Yeah.
We should, we'll see if I have any employees that want to nominate themselves to go get that done. I love that.
The poop reader for sure. Oh my gosh. Well, I also wanted to talk about you all were so kind and sent me this beautiful box of goodies. Tell me more. Why did I get this? I mean, I'm so grateful.
Our quarantine mailer. I think we sent those out. It was after kind of most of the world had, gone into, I know we collectively all call it quarantine, even though we're not all technically sick and quarantining ourselves, but it's kind of become the term to use. But when the stay-at-home orders kind of went countrywide, we had kind of a reason to reach out. First of all, we have our Let That Shit Go message, and just, I know you're dealing with a lot of anxiety, and we also had just launched our hand sanitizer. So hand sanitizer was something we had kind of started in our product development pipeline, and then Corona and COVID hit, and we just expedited that and said, okay, this is our time. Like, how can we make this product as quickly as possible? Let's talk to our manufacturing partners. Let's make it amazing, and let's make it natural. Let's use organic alcohol. Let's make it smell amazing. So we quickly brought this product to market. We reused bottles that we were going to use for Poopery for this product because that became a big, I learned so much about supply chain being at Poopery during that time when we had to kind of do what usually takes a year in a matter of weeks. So bottles became really hard to come by. Alcohol became really hard to come by, but we were just miraculously able to pull this product out. So we wanted to send just a group of our friends and people that we knew were at home a nice mailer to both provide them with the things that they need. So it included toilet paper because a lot of people couldn't get their hands on toilet paper at the time. That kind of became the thing that people were hoarding. So yes, you've got Hey Bippi. That's a female-led brand. We love them. They're adorable.
I love the color.
I think they come in all different colors too. So it's almost, I mean, who would think to make toilet paper fun every time you get to open up a new roll? But they did.
I know, and it says 100% biodegradable, 100% renewable, free of dyes and BPA. Yes, bamboo,
yeah, super sustainable.
Toilet paper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're cool. Taking care of your ends in all ways. So toilet paper. We included our hand sanitizer, our Poopery hand sanitizer that's lavender coconut scented, and it smells really yummy. Love it. Yes, beautifully done. Yeah. And then I believe it also came with a fun Let That Shit Go sticker.
It did.
That was from an Instagram artist, Steffi Flynn, I believe is her, I forget her IG handle. Somebody also can put that. Have a nice day with 2 Y's and an underscore. Sophia can put it in the comments, but she created that beautiful piece of Let That Shit Go art, sticker so that you can have that reminder with you. We all kind of have on the backs of our laptops. It's like kind of like our locker from high school where we put all of our stickers and fun things like that.
And I then stuck mine on my dream journal.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. Manifest. Yes.
And what else?
It'd be fun to put it in like underneath a toilet lid too. It's like your reminder before you go. Like, oh yeah. Cause that is something actually we say with Let That Shit Go is, how can I bring this practice that I just learned in this giant poo into my daily world? And one of the things we say at the end of the show that Bethany says is, as you leave here, take the time that you're on the toilet physically, like literally letting your shit go. Those 2 to 3 minutes, take that time when you're on the toilet to think about the other things in your life that you could let go of. So it's super easy. It doesn't take long. But yeah, actually, maybe I'll put mine underneath my toilet seat to remind me of that. And then the other thing we sent you is mindfulness cards. Is that right? Yes?
Yes, I have mindfulness cards. These are so pretty.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. I think they're available at Target too. They're available. That company's done really well for themselves.
And they're so organized.
Oh, well, look at that. So all the type A, like the organized people will love it too. Yeah, can keep it. Yeah. But we have mindfulness cards. We practically all have those, but you pick a random one. Whenever you feel like you either need to pick me up, or some people it's a part of a ritual that they'll do at the same time every day. And it just will give you a subject and have some dialogue around an exercise you can do to be really mindful or intentional around that random thing that you picked. They're really fun to use at parties as placemats. Susie does this a lot, and she's got a number of different types of cards, but she'll use it as kind of your name placemat. And so everybody, to start the dinner conversation or even a meeting, you sit down and you turn yours over and you read what you have, and it typically will get a really great conversation started. So they're good conversation cards too.
Yeah, these are beautiful, and even just, lady, I love a good ritual, going into the bathroom and even, while you're sitting there and having your moment, picking the card while you're there.
Yes.
Right?
Love it. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
I think we should pick one. Pick
yes.
one. So I'm actually, even though this is the most beautifully organized tarot card deck I know they're mindfulness cards, but tarot card deck I have ever seen, but I'm going to destroy it.
Do it. It feels good. Feel a little messy.
So I'm going to shuffle these up, and I think we should pick a message. So cards right here, and what I'm doing is shuffling, and if anybody's that's into tarot cards has ever heard the phrase energize the deck, this is literally all you have to do. It's just AKA shuffling. And so you're just putting, and again, if you have these cards, then you can think about like, what do I need to release, or what do I need to, bring more into my day, or what do I need to be mindful of? Which I think is a great thing to ask. So we can ask right now on behalf of myself, on behalf of Nicole, on behalf of everybody listening to this call, what is something that we need to be mindful of? So let me see here. I'm going to cut the cards, put them down, and get one. Ooh, a beautiful yellow one. Ooh. Know your intention. That's a biggie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This has been coming up a lot with clients recently about, people are really, I think, starting to realize that whether it's within their job or their business owners, that they need to start to pivot their business. And, all these ideas are flying everywhere, into really allowing them to funnel down and to focus on something instead of just being all over the place. So I think that's, and I think also not grabbing at the first thing maybe that kind of comes your way, and finding that right thing that your gut,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have that gut feeling about, your gut says yes. That's my take. What about you, lady?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think it's a time of, especially as a business, when, shit hits the fan, for lack of a better term, and you have to, as you mentioned, pivot. There can be a lot of distractions. It can almost become this panic state. But if you have this core, like what aligns with the business, what makes sense with the business, yes, there are a lot of ways that we could pivot when things could easily get crazy. If you go back to what's that core intention, what are we here to do? What are we here to provide people? It can help provide clarity.
Yeah, absolutely. And if somebody doesn't know why they get this card, I will tell you that they have a beautiful explanation on the back. So if you're feeling a little unknowing or lost about why the heck you picked this card, they are sharing something with you, which is super nice. I love these cards. I'm going to start using these with my clients. So I'm very grateful that you gave these to me. I wasn't aware of them. So you have introduced me to a new deck that I didn't have yet.
Well, good. Enjoy. They're practically all around the office.
I do.
I miss those little rituals too. I'm going to work on, we'll bring those back into our Zoom meeting somehow. I miss that about the in-person meetings at the office.
Do you all, before meetings, pick one of these cards?
I would say it's more common in the creative and the marketing space.
Yeah.
That we would, especially, if it's like we're feeling stuck or we just like need a breather, we'll either get up and move around, switch seats.
Yeah.
Just kind of get our mind off of if we're ever feeling stuck. So those can be great in that too. But yeah, we would use those often. They're fun.
Yeah. Oh, I know what else we didn't talk about in the box. The main event.
Yes, the Poopery. That's right.
So who do I have here?
You have Original Citrus, which is just what it sounds. It's the very first product that Susie launched with. And then Lavender Vanilla, which is, those are our top two sellers. But Lavender Vanilla is my favorite. I love anything lavender. So that's my go-to.
I love that they're in two sizes.
Oh yeah, we've got all kinds of sizes. We've got sizes for your purse, sizes for your home, sizes for your work drawer. Really, because that's, when you have to go number two, it doesn't really discriminate. You're kind of where you are and you've got to go. So we've got a size for every need.
Yeah. It's interesting. And I know I'd love for you just to tell everybody about what's the proper or correct ritual to use these, but it smells so good. You could just use it as just any old, a room diffuser, not without even having to enter the bathroom. But what is the ritual behind this?
Yes, it's funny. I had a meeting earlier today with an outside somebody who's not within the company, and they mentioned that they use Poopery as cologne. So it smells that good. It's funny that, you know, you can use it to cover up probably one of the worst smells in the world. But it smells so good you can use it as cologne. But essentially, Poopery, it's different in that you spray it into the toilet bowl before you go number 2. So while typical air fresheners are usually not natural, they're full of alcohol, aerosol, synthetic fragrances. Poopery has none of that. But you spray it into the toilet bowl before you go, and it's natural essential oils spaced along with other natural ingredients. But natural essential oils float on water, so it creates a barrier on the toilet water surface that then whenever you go number 2, it traps everything underneath the water surface, so the smells never even get into the air in the first place.
I love also that it's so beautiful. You can't tell what it's for. So
yeah. And that was a big part of, you know, Susie, it wasn't just humor. It was about being funny. And you'll notice there are like hidden things in the illustrations, but it was about both approaching the subject matter from a verbal standpoint and through our marketing through humor, but also making the product in the bottle really beautiful and not something that you would want to shove under your cabinet. Typically those products you wouldn't leave out on your toilet, but we wanted to make something that somebody would feel comfortable sharing or leaving out and displaying on the back of their toilet. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does smell so good. And I love that the package is so pretty because it can just sit with my makeup or, you know, my candles, anything else that I have in the bathroom. And it's also, you know, oh God, especially like think about when you start dating somebody and you haven't like, you know, pooped near them yet, that this is kind of, or you have to go to their house, you have to go to a boy's house for the first time. Every girl needs to heart me who knows what I'm talking about. Ugh.
Well, I have a funny story. So I have been with my husband we've been together for 11 years, and I started working for Poopery about 7 years ago, and we had already started living together. So before Poopery, you know, I was, okay, we can live in an apartment, but we have to have 2 bathrooms. Like I need my bathroom and you need your bathroom. Like I was very much, I wasn't super open about the subject matter. There's the whole, you know, girls don't poop thing. It's just so silly looking back. But then I started working at Poopery, and I had this tool now that first of all just made me feel comfortable sharing a bathroom. And then what I noticed over time is we just got more comfortable around just using the same restroom. Like he'll go with the door open. Now we have a kid, so the door's going to come swinging open. I can't be alone in there for more than 1 minute. But it's been fun to watch just even the progression of my relationship with my boyfriend and boyfriend at the time, and how Poopery has allowed us to kind of break that barrier, and how it's opened up just a level of comfortability with each other that we didn't have before.
Wow. And then the other one here, we have this one. So the lavender vanilla, and this is the smaller size. Is this the travel size?
That's the 2 ounce. So that's the size that you'll most likely find at stores. You can travel with it. Obviously, it's TSA friendly. We do have a smaller size. It's called a 10 milliliter. It's about, actually, I think I have one right in front of me. It's this little size. This is from our glitter collection. But this is great for pockets, purses, like the truly on the go experience.
The first date, the first time you have to sleep over.
Yeah, just, stuff it right in there.
I want to smell this one too.
Yeah, lavender vanilla is my favorite. I'm a sucker for anything lavender. And I love that,
nice.
It's also just think about the aromatherapy of scents and what lavender does for you. So for me, it's always what I choose during massages. So I love just getting that relaxing experience every time I go to the bathroom.
You're just a lavender girl from like A to Z in your moments.
I am.
That's awesome. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, the other thing I loved, I was reading your beautiful brochure here. You guys are on it with the give back, the We Give a Crap campaign. Can we talk about that?
Yes.
You gave a very large donation to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, which is awesome.
Yeah, we didn't just want to send product to people. We wanted to send that in their honor. We're doing something to make a difference during this time. And we learned, unfortunately, that instances of domestic violence go up in moments like now when women are at home and they don't oftentimes have an option to not be at home, or their significant other that is the abuser is at home with them. So That's a cause that's really close to Susie's heart. And we continually support them throughout the year, but this time felt especially important to give to that organization.
That's wonderful. I love that. And I just wanted to call that out, that you know, through and through, you all have such big hearts, and I love that so much. So, you know, I also, you know, I wanted to return the favor. So I sent you a little box of goodies.
You did.
With intention. Everything is done with intention. So you have the fun little Style Rituals pink bag where you can keep your crystals, or to be honest, I think you can probably fit your Poopery in here too.
I love it. It is a ritual, right?
It is a ritual. And in there, so I gave you either have, I think you have a sage in yours.
I do.
You have a sage.
Yes.
And I can talk about both of these. So you have the sage and I have the Palo Santo. And so these are energy clearing tools that if you have any type of bad energy you would like to release, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen that and sometimes might not know what the heck to do with it, but you can light these tools on fire, just get it going for a minute and then blow it out. And you just waft it around your home, and you always want to make sure that you know, it's kind of funny. I always say that you need to have an exit strategy with energy when you're saging. You know, you all have exit strategies with releasing and going down into the pipes. But you need somewhere to let that old stuck energy go. And so the idea that you have a mantra, and you say, any energy that is not mine or my highest and greatest good, get the fuck out. With love, but like you just can't stay here. And having the door or the window open to actually allow that energy to go. Now, the best part is these tools are great to keep in the bathroom. And you can, you know, from an energetic perspective, let this waft within your ritual. So you've got your Poopery, letting it go, and then you're like, all right, any energy that kind of is bouncing around in my bathroom, if you will, you could follow up actually using the sage or a Palo Santo, which is interesting. And Nicole, the other thing I sent you 2 crystals that are close to my heart on the subjects we've been talking about. So the Carnelian, the little orange one, this is actually a crystal that has to do with the second chakra. So in anybody that doesn't know where that is, that's like your belt line, where your belly button is, your womb, your ovaries, like kind of down in that area. And that is the energy point on the body where we house our sense of community. All of our emotions live there. And then also, especially just as women, with this crystal, it's a really good crystal for women. It helps with PMS, period cramps, any type of sexual trauma you may have undergone. And then also, you know, even things that are maybe you're flying around your head, like, do I want to have a baby? Do I not want to have a baby? I'm trying to have a baby. Like, what am I doing about babies? So this kind of is an A to Z for women, and any potential situation that could come up that's related to the womb area.
Mm-hmm. That's so I'm currently pregnant.
Oh,
yeah. So it's funny you bring that up. Yeah. Yeah. So what do I do with this?
What do you do with it? Well, you can easily stick it in your pocket, stick it in your underwear, somewhere down in that zone. You could also, if you're like meditating, that would be a great crystal to keep on your belly. And then what I'd also actually recommend, you know, if I were to tell you, getting a bigger version of these, like palm stone size. So for a lot of my clients, my pregnant clients, I send them push crystals. And so they all have to do with different aspects around having a baby. Like another one, I'd actually just, if you don't, may I recommend something?
Yes, of course.
Pink moonstone, which is a crystal that helps to temper hormones. when pregnant. So
I'll take a rock.
Like, I'm just gonna wear this giant statement necklace of pink moonstone. So you would actually, if you got some bigger pieces of this, I would ask you to take it into the delivery room, and you actually hold it when you're pushing. So the idea is, instead of that energy kind of pushing and maybe bouncing into zones where you don't want it, you're taking all that excess energy and running it into the crystals. I have a really crazy story about this. So I have this friend. She is just like a total powerhouse. So she lives in New York City and has 5 children. The youngest are twins, which she had at 42. She's an SVP of marketing at a really big firm. And she, she stays fit, and she's lovely, and she's kind, and she's powerful. And, she's like all the things. So I found out she was pregnant, and I sent her these push crystals, and I told her what to do. And I didn't hear from her for a while. And then she sends me this text message, and she goes, "Well, I broke the crystals. What do I do with them now?" And I was like, "What do you mean you broke them?" Like, huge crystals. She just
from
shattered.
Squeezing.
Yeah, she shattered a rock in her hand like Wonder Woman. And I was just like, I was like, that doesn't happen very often. I told her to bury them because that's what you do. Well, one of the things you could do when a crystal breaks, but it was just a huge reminder to me about the amount of energy that can run through our bodies. So yes, that's Carnelian. And then this other one, Snowflake Obsidian, I sent this one too because just kind of in the theme of what we've been talking about today, that Snowflake Obsidian helps to get rid of any like super stuck emotions, stuff that's old, like, childhood issues, stuff that's triggering the shit out of you, stuff that's literally from, an energetic perspective, stuffing and stopping your body up full of crap. This actually, from the energetic perspective, helps you to let that shit go, if you will. So I thought that this was a good one to bring up, and especially too, just through, quarantine and Black Lives Matter and all of these things that are, coming up and just stirring people up. That, it's a big call for us to let go of old ways and beliefs and patterns and all of these things. So I thought that this would be a good one to send over your way as well.
I love it. I got a third one too.
What else did you get in there?
I got this.
Oh, they sent you a citrine.
A surprise.
A surprise. Actually, citrines are really a good one. So that's, if we go one chakra up, so if you go to the apex of your rib cage, so the third, that's your solar plexus chakra, and where we house our sense of personal power. And also when you think about the ideas of calling and abundance into your life, that all sits in that area of the body. The other thing about it is if you have any type of digestive issues, that's also a crystal that has to do with that. So I wanted to kind of hit the whole stomach.
I'm covered. This one almost sounds like a colonic in a rock, right?
That thing is like a colonic. It's like an exorcism in a rock. It's totally a colonic in a rock. It's a really good point.
Well, thank you.
It's my pleasure.
I love it.
I would definitely also recommend Pink Moonstone to you for why we said, just to help with hormones, and that idea of getting maybe some push crystals to take into delivery with you, so that you can channel that energy elsewhere.
Perfect. I'll let you know if I crush them.
If you crush them, you have to send me a picture. I was just like, that really surprised me.
And I love the sage. I don't have any sage at my house. We sage the office pretty often. Anytime, like either if like we need to just move things around, or it's been, a heavy week, or it's funny because we'll just come into the office and you can clearly smell whenever somebody's saged. But yeah, it's a regular practice at the Poopery offices.
Oh, I love that. I'll give you a little tip with sage if you want. Just because, so that we're less wasteful with it. When you take the little band off of there, just taking a small sprig off of the sage and using that instead of you burning the whole thing. So taking this instead of like the whole thing, lighting it on fire, you're using it in a more respectful way with a plant that is super sacred in so many communities worldwide as a spiritual tool. So that way, and then you're not wasting as much. And I know sometimes it's like you light up a huge sage wand and then you're like can't get it to go out. It just like keeps burning and burning. So that's actually, it would be a good way to use it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. Let's see what else. Oh my gosh, I think we've talked about everything here. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. I know we're on the subject of Poopery, but can we also shout out your cleaning products because they're gorgeous and amazing?
Yeah, supernatural. I know.
Yeah.
They, again, like, just smell is such an important, like, they do the job and they clean, but just this, like, it's so hard to describe smell, and you really have to smell supernatural to understand how beautiful it's. Like, it's perfume. It really is. It's stunning, and it makes you look forward to cleaning. And cleaning is yet again another ritual that people oftentimes do. So imagine, having these cleansing smells of an aromatherapy of these natural essential oils during this process of cleaning your home. There's a whole association there of cleaning and cleansing. So it's really a beautiful, beautiful product. It's stunning. It smells incredible. I'm blessed to get an employee discount. So I'm stocked and I've got it for forever. I love it.
Yeah, when I got my first box of your supernatural cleaning products, I mean, first of all, the outside of the box is beautiful, and then I opened it and it was like angels started singing. It was like, ah! Like these bottles were beautiful, the graphics on them, the smell was amazing. Obviously, you can reuse them, which you're helping take steps with the environment by being green. And like the bottle was so beautiful. I was like, I just am going to leave this out on my kitchen counter because it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Which, yet again, did you ever think that you would leave a bottle of a cleaning product out on your counter? Yeah. That speaks to how stunning. I wish I would go grab one if I weren't connected to my phone and iPod, but they're just these really stunning glass. They're frosted glass, and they have a screen printed line work, which even the line, a lot of that line work and the artwork you see has intention. That it comes with, I forget the name of what they're called, but they have meaning in design that goes back for centuries. So they're all very thoughtfully crafted and designed. And the vials that you fill with concentrates and then you fill with your own water. A lot of energy is wasted shipping the water that's inside products across the country. So there's the plastic component that's gone. The vials of concentrates come in glass. We've seen some really beautiful, people will reuse them. They'll put a flower and they'll create these just stunning altars using our vials that the concentrates came in. So it's just every detail, not surprisingly with Susie, every detail is just impeccably thought through and really intentional, bringing it back to intention. Everything that was made with that box and the product itself and what it does for people, just it's incredibly intentional, and it makes, you can feel that when you use it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm like proud to use those cleaning products. I'm a Virgo, so like cleaning and organizing are like way high on my
It's your
priority
jam.
list.
See, I'm
Oh my
not.
gosh.
I'm so jealous that you're that type of person. I wish that were in my being. Ugh, I'm so jealous. But supernatural makes it more fun. So, and sacred geometry is what
Yes.
that's called. So,
yeah, with ancient symbols wrapped up into there. It's just they're holy, aren't they? Oh gosh, I love that. I was reading the comments as you were talking, and it was really interesting because when we were talking about the Poopery, people were naming all these places. They're like, oh God, it should be in every restaurant, every airport, every work bathroom, on the airplane, blah 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 blah. I mean, do you guys have plans to like infiltrate the system? Because it's gross in the places where there are smells. Sometimes it's so, the chemical, it's so disgusting.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and pooping in the comfort of your own home is one thing. It's, you're in controlled environment, but it's the worst whenever you go to a restaurant and they have that thing on the wall that puffs the just artificial smell of like who knows what, and you don't have the choice of breathing it, and it also doesn't work. It just mixes with the odor. We want to. I mean, we call it poo world domination. Our dream is to be in every hotel, like to show up for people where they would like the product the most, on airplanes. We are in our hand sanitizer. I'm not sure if our poo's in there yet, but we just got added to vending machines at airports. So just in case you forget your Poopery or your hand sanitizer, you can pick it up in these vending machines. Our dream is to show up for people wherever they need the product most, especially with the alternative currently being forced, unnatural solutions that just don't work.
Yeah. Your box had actually come at the right time. So it was really interesting. I normally am living in LA. I've been in Pennsylvania since February, helping a sick parent out. And I had planned to come home for a short amount of time, and I've now been here for 6 months. So I'm going to be honest, this was something I left at home in my bathroom because, I didn't think I would need, I didn't think I was going to be here for the long haul. And so I got this and I was like, oh my God, how do they know?
Our timing's pretty magical like that. I don't know what it is, but
I was like, these unicorns just sent me exactly what I forgot.
If you need more, let us know. We'll send you more. I know some people who can send you more.
Well, Nicole, I just, you and the rest of your team, like, you all are so incredible, and what you do is amazing, and the spirit and the way that you do it is infectious, and I love that. So I really want to thank you for taking the time to come on and talk to me about everything that you guys bring to the world.
Thank you. Yeah, I was nervous. I get nervous doing public speaking, so I felt so nervous. And then the minute I got on with you, like I haven't had. Usually, you can hear that I'm out of breath whenever I'm nervous, and you immediately put me at ease. And I appreciate how natural this conversation's been. And I love what you do and what you're saying. Like you're making the world a happier, better, more mindful and intentional place. So we thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I'll tell you one last one. If you, get a little stage fright with all the public speaking, lapis lazuli is like your best friend, lady.
Lapis lazuli. I won't try to spell it, but I'll remember what it looks like.
Lapis lazuli.
Lapis lazuli. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the stone for communication. So anybody that works in, marketing, PR, anybody that's kind of in that realm, I always tell them. And you could even get a really sweet little necklace that just kind of sits right in the divot here, and you can wear that. So this is a great crystal to kind of get over that hurdle.
I love that. Does it also help with, because I know with throat it can also be, speaking your mind, clarity, things like other communication things as well.
That's right. So anything that's kind of that whole umbrella of communication, even that kind of stuff, or losing your words perhaps, or having actual, when people think about like having stage fright of even speaking anything, that this is really, really helpful. So you can keep this with you the next time you have to get up and do a huge press event.
Yes, I will. I've got my list of crystals to go buy in the next 5 months. So thank you.
Well, I honor what you're sharing with me, but I have to tell you, I don't get that impression from you, because you feel very just natural and grounded and easy to talk to. So I bet you're doing better in that realm than you think you are.
We're always our own worst critics too. So.
That's true. Yeah, I think you're incredibly well spoken, and yeah. Maybe you don't need lapis lazuli, I don't know. But if you think you do, then that's the crystal I would recommend to you. Yeah. Okay. Well, you and the rest of the Poopery team, please don't ever be strangers. You know where to find me. And again, thank you so much for your time today. And I don't know, I will talk to you guys somewhere in the future.
Yes, please do. Yes. This was fun. Thank you. This was fun for me. This wasn't work today. This was fun. Thank you.
Oh, I love that. That's the best thing to hear. Thank you again, Nicole.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.